No, it's
Why
going to
is it?
be a best of 5 after all of that. We're going to go to the live screen. We have YOLO Brothers and Egomania. That prediction still got 7.5 minutes left. So you'll get to see possibly a couple of goals go through. And still make your prediction. Huge kickoff from Egomania straight up. He's run out of boost. He's not going to get around it. He's ended up putting it over the crossbar. And YOLO tips him out of the way. Oh, YOLO's got that off the pitch. He's going straight in. YOLO, sorry, Ego gets there. YOLO and Ego, very similar words, and I have to translate Narellan Macca's on the fly. That's a great shot coming in from Ego as well to start us off. It's a pretty high octane start, Nobbo.
Absolutely. This is all over the place. Well, this is reputation from his backboard miss off the kickoff. So Ego would be happy.
Yeah, he would have been a little bit disappointed with the way that started. It was the best kickoff. That's a great kickoff from YOLO as well. And it's come out off the post. I thought it was just going in. Here comes YOLO. Looking for Mech immediately. Going for the far corner. Can't quite. Ego keeps it out. He's going to take the corner away from Ego as well. YOLO's going to absorb all 3 on this side of the field. Hold on to possession. Ego fires it on target. That's a goal. No, it's not as wide. Again, the post, the MVP early here. Ego denied his second. YOLO Brothers hanging on here in defense. He's on 0 boost. Ego on his tail. Can't quite catch up. That's a bit of a knob move that coming in from Ego. YOLO Brothers survives again. He's holding on to the ball here. Trying to keep possession away from Ego. He does give it away. It's a shot that's high. It's the bar again. Ego's had plenty of it so far. YOLO Brothers, not sure how much boost he's got. Ends up faking out some kind of weird kind of body maneuver there with the Dominus. Doesn't really work. Ego just stands his ground and swats it downfield by giving the ball up here, though. It's a challenge in the corner of the field from Ego. It actually works out. YOLO just gets a touch away. Ego looking for the boost. Hid behind the ball for a long time there, Nobbo. Pretty smart little move. Sneaks away for the boost grab and gets it into the top of the net. YOLO Brothers, no answer for that one. Ego has started well.
Has he ever? He'll pop up to himself, then just a flick into the ball to get the beautiful power on target. And I know YOLO looked like he was low on boost or something, because he didn't even make an effort to get to that ball.
Need a welder's master washes. I love it. That's gone wide again. Ego's cleaned up the post again, but gets the rebound. Outstanding from Ego. He started well here. 3 goals on the board early.
Just bully. Just chasing him down there.
YOLO's going to need to find some answers, mate. It's a rough start for him so far. He's not been playing poorly. Egomania starting well. This is the first stream debut. Scuffboard at least for Egomania. And boy, as he started well, it's just what you want to do to get your career underway here. YOLO with a chance now, though. The heavy touch there, and Ego sees the opportunity to close it down. Would have been dangerous had he left it behind. Ego's with a chance here. YOLO's gone for boost. Ego just pops it up rather than going direct. But finds it over the top of YOLO regardless. When I get good, I'd like to be the post. 4 goals on the board for Ego. Nothing yet for YOLO Brothers. 28k for Ego in the prediction. Nobody's seen him play. At least as far as I know, nobody's seen him play. But everyone expecting him to win. It's a strange situation. YOLO with a good save here. Egomania boost, bump available. Goes for it as well. Actually, somehow misses out. YOLO Brothers has a little bit of boost to catch up to this. It's a good shot, but Ego does well. It tips it out off the crossbar. Ego putting plenty of pressure on. You can see that YOLO is just looking to slow it down, isn't he, Nobbo? Ego's having none of it. He's just looking to accelerate the ball at every opportunity, and he scored his 5th.
Just working. Yeah, absolutely. Every touch is just perfect. And just YOLO seems to be on the back foot every touch. Ego's giving him no space. And it's working perfectly. Yeah, great start. But it is early days in his best of 7.
It'll be a best of 5. They did originally want a best of 7, but it's going to be best of 5. YOLO Brothers are looking for a bump. Doesn't get it. Would have worked out if he had. Certainly been a goal. Any kind of bump. Looking for Ego to give the ball away. He's not having any of it, is he? Ego is playing a great game of Rocket League so far. YOLO Brothers has come up against a bit of a mountain. And he's a rock-solid 50 beast as well. You love to see it, Nobbo.
The big brain strats. Just playing nice and simple. Keeping the ball close to your car and getting the low 50. And it just rolls into YOLO's net. Hate to be YOLO right now.
Yeah, it's a tough start, isn't it? Obviously, best of 5. You think it's a longish series, but it's really not. We saw it last night with Scrappy and Jekyll. It's over before you know it.
Yeah, it doesn't take long, especially with these runaway games.
Every game is extremely important in a best of 5. Not as important as it is in a best of 3, but you go down a game or two here in a best of 5, and it's a long, long road back. YOLO with a chance. He's going for mech. He's trying to get it around. He looks for the boost. Gets it. Should be the first goal on the board for YOLO. He gets it. Well done.
Just get some momentum coming into the second game.
Finally, a little bit of reward for effort. He hasn't been bad this game at all. I've really liked what I've seen from Ego. Just very different play styles, isn't it? And Ego's is definitely got the advantage on the contest. Ego doesn't bother attending the kickoff contest. Great shot from YOLO. Finds his second into the bar, down and in. Huge Dominus flick.
Gets punished for the fake kickoff. Big time there by YOLO. Beautiful flick. Absolutely zooms into the net.
Yeah, Ego's decision not to go for the kickoff ended up costing him there, didn't I? Wonder if we'll see that again from him. YOLO looking for the reset. Gets it straight into Ego, who challenges with the in and out squishy save. Interesting choice. Effective choice in the end. Looking to avoid the bump here is YOLO. Does well. Tell you what, he's got himself back into this match, Nobbo. He's got himself back into this match. He's found 3. All of a sudden.
There's still a minute to go too, and he's driving forward with some momentum. Jesus.
Ego throwing for content. No Cam. Cam will be between matches. Sorry, Cry. That's why the Turtle Hat reward isn't available as well. I thought we'd clean it up a little bit. I think we're going to have co-casters for every single stream of this, and it's a bit ugly with the 2 people on stream. I'm interested to hear the feedback though. If you'd rather just have the people to watch, happy to do so. It might be a better viewing experience if we weren't clogging up the screen with big ugly mugs, Nobbo.
Yeah, that's why I'm not here.
Like it for a change? Yeah, let's go. Let's go. YOLO Brothers, he's found 3, but Ego Mania, obviously the 6-goal advantage that he opened up throughout this game is going to be tough to overcome for YOLO in this particular match, but he will go into game number 2, Nobbo, with pretty handy momentum. Maybe he's learnt a little bit about the way that Ego is playing. It's a very unique play style that he's bringing to this, very challenge heavy, very smart as well. Very impressed with what I saw from Ego, especially in that first half of this contest where he really took it away from YOLO.
He really was giving YOLO no room to breathe there throughout the whole match, really. But you saw glimmers of hope there as YOLO sort of found a workaround. Sort of got it under control there at the end. But yeah, that runaway was just a bit too big.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see.
Did he at least die painlessly? To shreds, you say?
It'll be interesting to see how YOLO reacts now he comes back in game number 2. I didn't switch to the bracket, so you didn't see me anyway, so you'll just have to do away with that for the time being. Sorry, those that see me beardless. Big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of it. Big regrets. This is out on the touch there, YOLO. I think he was going for the pop high, put Ego into an awkward position, ends up driving under the ball. Heavy challenge there. Ego trying to get around it. He's got no boost. He's going for the mid. YOLO ends up cutting in early. Sure, he gets possession here. He gets a flick over the top. He's going to score first. No, he's not. It's off the post and out. He doesn't go for the rebound. It was a direct bounce out on the rebound. I thought YOLO had a big chance to follow that up. He should have scored the first goal there. He'll be disappointed.
You were the chosen one!
How will he recover that from that slightly tilting play? He manages to get around this. Ego hanging around, but unable to get an effective touch on the ball so far to claim possession. It's been all YOLO. Start of game number 2 here. Ceiling pinch. That's going to come out. That should be YOLO's ball. YOLO with a big chance. Can he get around it? He can. He's going to score his first opportunity of the game. His first meaningful possession of the game. And he has opened the scoring.
Yeah, that was a big risk. High risk, high reward play there by YOLO. Hits the backboard, I believe. But yeah, that was a huge overcommit. And just gets cleaned up. Unfortunately for YOLO.
Wiz, welcome to the stream. Yeah, he'll be disappointed, YOLO. He really started this game well. He had that massive chance as well where he really should have put that away one way or another. First touch or second, and that's a terrible overcommit from Ego. Can YOLO get enough power on it? He can. He sent it downfield, and he will equalise. I'll tell you what, it's actually an even match, and we saw a 6-goal gap open up between the players in game number 1. But I don't feel there's a big skill discrepancy here at all, Nobbo. YOLO brothers are well and truly in this contest.
Absolutely, he's found his form. And he's looking much more confident in this second game.
That's a really dangerous ball to go for, so that you give a guy a rev up. And he's Ego looking for a double. Gets it off the crossbar. It's out off the crossbar. YOLO brothers will stand his ground and take it away. Goes for the big Dominus flick, but Ego is back in time. Collects the boost and the ball in the corner of the field. Those of you at home, is Nobbo a little bit quiet? I can see that it certainly looks that way. Great double touch coming in from Ego.
My lord. What an absolute backboard.
We're seeing a very different looking game number 2, aren't we, Nobbo? Both players have
Yes.
felt each other out.
Definitely no runaways in this one.
With a heavy touch there, Ego with a big chance there. He could have just shot that first time. You feel that touch from YOLO really needed to stick with that. He bailed from it. Double chance available for YOLO as well. Got it. Bottom corner.
Great placement there.
Riding.
Sorry.
Riding was on the wall early, wasn't it? The jump that he got off the first touch was always going to be in line with the ball. All of the options available on the net. Finds the bottom corner.
Beautiful setup. Just sees that Ego's moved to the right side and just places it straight left. Beautiful.
Another heavy challenge coming in deep into the opposition half there for YOLO. Sets up another counter-attack opportunity for Ego. Looking for a big 50. It's off the crossbar and out. YOLO brothers with another chance. Can he get it downfield in time? I'm not sure how much boost Ego's got in the tank. YOLO, possibly one chance. Ego gets there. Clears it off of his back wall. Good catch here from YOLO. Ego just challenges, not having any of it. He is not interested in slowing the play down at all. Does not want to see that Dominus flick come out too often, does he? It's a dangerous thing. YOLO brothers entering pretty dangerous territory here as well. He's into the opposition corner. Ego just lets him have free reign of the ball.
Rusty snipes there coming in from the corner. I don't think Ego expected the shot, let alone let it be on target. What a placement.
Standing finish there from YOLO. There's no respect coming in from Ego there in the corner of the field. Should be a kickoff goal in return though. We're back square. Ego dropping the no problem.
Yeah, I hate to see it.
It's a big part
You worked so hard for a lovely goal.
We haven't seen much of it though, have we? Really? We haven't seen much of it last night either. Kickoff.
First one?
First one tonight. My memory, yeah, first one tonight goes in favour of Ego. It's a really important one as well because I feel like YOLO brothers was really gathering some momentum in this contest. He's going to take the corner boost away from Ego. Surely he does. Ego's going to have to retreat for the mid. YOLO will have the ball. It's not the best catch from him. Goes for the edge will bump, but Ego gets a touch and he's going to recover first. He's going to score. He's going to get his fourth.
That was a big commit there by YOLO. And yeah, it just looked like he bumped Ego and then just got sent himself.
Really unfortunate play, but we are seeing a lot of it, aren't we? We're seeing a lot of all or nothing plays coming in from YOLO brothers. He'd have the lead earlier in this match as a result. He's going to get around this one as well. Could have fired that on target. Had plenty of time. Ego just gave him the ball like their teammates. Ego's just given up on the play. YOLO brothers has the whole field to work with, and he's equalised.
Just an unfortunate touch there. I'm sure that's not the shot he wanted on target. But here we are, 4-all.
Big kick off this. YOLO brothers manages to draw it even this time. Ego Mania sticking around though, being a pest. That's a big knob move that. I've seen that one before. Oh, good challenge there from YOLO. I thought Ego might have had it past him and the bump crucial. He'll take the ball and the boost as a result. Kicks it out wide. Little trip coming in from Ego. Ego being a pest and he's taken away from the field.
That's the spirit, mate.
He's got low boost here, YOLO. We're going to see one of those all or nothing plays from him. We do! He flicks it over the top. Crucial that he made an effective flick there, because if Ego had caught any of the ball, YOLO would have had 0 boost in the wrong half of the ground. YOLO back in front. Izzy a chance to win game number 2. Send us to the third, all even, Nobbo.
I think so. He's playing much more refined Rocket League here. I say as he passes Ego the ball.
Oh, he's missed!
Hang on. But yes, I think this game is definitely going to be going the distance.
Oh, Ego just insta-challenging everything. I thought YOLO was in a good position there to make the most out of that as well. Ends up missing out entirely on the contest. Ego walks it down the line and equalizes. He has made his intentions clear, hasn't he, Ego? He is just going to challenge every ball that comes his way, and we're going to see the kickoff return in favor of YOLO.
This all or nothing challenge game reminds me of someone I played with recently. His name's Rizza. Absolute pest to play against. Can confirm.
When you have 0 skill, 0 brain, and 0 mech, you've only got one thing to turn to. That's the insta-challenge. I'm not saying that about Ego. Please don't watch this back and take that personally, Ego. You're a far better player than I am. 6
That was a
apiece.
beautiful, beautiful cut. Oh my god.
You can see what YOLO wanted there. You can see he just wanted that ball cleared. He knows that there's only 28 seconds left on the clock. He just wants Ego not to have the ball. He just needed a touch. Couldn't get it. There's been a couple of contests that like that where Ego has got the ball around him. There's big lunges coming in from Ego. The big lunges coming in from YOLO. Good challenge from Ego. That's kind bounce again.
Nutrition. What a 50. Yes, the fake challenge definitely a big risk there in the center of the field, especially on 6-all.
Jeep, welcome to the stream. Drops the fruition. You'll love to see it. YOLO with a kickoff. Off the
Oh,
backboard. A kind bounce for YOLO as well. One chance to score. Shoots, goes, bang! And he equalises. And we talked earlier about how we have not seen much kickoff ascendancy for either player. We've seen plenty of it in the second half of this match. Kickoffs have dominated the scene. And we are all square. 7 seconds on the clock, and this is a huge kickoff. YOLO's lost it bad enough that he almost won it. Ego's in the corner with full boost, going off the ceiling. He's got a flip available. YOLO needs to challenge, does well, sends us to overtime.
What a save.
It's dangerous. Ego was in a great position. We talked about the last kickoff. This one just as important. The bounce favouring YOLO. He's got the boost. He's got the ball. No, Ego's got the ball. YOLO sends it away. Ego's got no boost. One shot chance for YOLO brothers. He gets it on target. No, it's wide. I think he'd missed YOLO. This is out again. Ego insta-challenging. YOLO just can't find the opening. He's got all the boost. He's got the ball. Ego fires it off the back wall. YOLO's going to have to affect this. Does well. Accelerates through the ball as well. Fixes it over the top of Ego. Ego's still empty. Bumped. Surely YOLO scores. Goal. We're going to game number 3. All even. Outstanding from YOLO brothers. Keeps his cool. It was huge in game number 1 from Egomania. He opened up a 6-goal lead. But YOLO brothers has struck back. And we are all square. There's the face cam. Face cam, the mayonnaise. Yeah, we're not rocking the face cam on the gameplay side of things at the moment. We're just doing it on the bracket. We're trying to keep it clean. I think most of these games, or all of these games, will have 2 streamers in them, and it takes up a fair bit of space. Hey, sheep. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. I need those. I actually am in a bit of a self-confident state of tragedy at the moment after shaving my beard off. We're going back live. See you later, everybody. Ego and YOLO. 1 green slide apiece. What do you reckon? That was an outstanding game number 2 of a really thrilling contest between the 2 players. 2 really different play styles, isn't it? We've talked about it a fair bit throughout this contest. You couldn't ask for 2 more differing play styles. Ego is full challenge. YOLO just trying to slow the ball down at every opportunity. He's been eliminated. YOLO gets a touch on that as well. It's an awful spawn for Ego's. The play is past him by the time he reappears. And YOLO opens up his account.
YOLO. He's going for a lot more demos in the past 2 games, and it's working well for him. This all or nothing commit by Ego is it's incredibly effective in early game, but once you do it for a few games in a row, it becomes incredibly predictable, I find anyway.
Yeah, YOLO seems to have adapted really well, hasn't he? What Ego's throwing at him, he really was in shock for the first couple of minutes of this contest. I was really worried for him because it looked like it could have got really ugly really quick, but he has fought back since the midway point of game number 1 and has plenty to show for his work. He now holds the advantage on the contest as a whole. So that one downfield, Ego will look for the boost. How heavily will YOLO commit? He doesn't. He backs off. Good shadow defense from him. Needs to get a challenge on this at some stage, though. Ego's going to get all over him. Can't quite. The bump was available for Ego there. YOLO's looking for mech. Slows it down, takes it to the wall. He has a flip available, looking for the musty. Gets it on target, but Ego all over it. Sends it away. YOLO with a soft touch straight into the line of Ego. He says, thank you very much, if you don't mind. Nice high flick will force YOLO to jump. near boost, but a good touch from Yolo sends it wide, gives him a chance to take the boost and gets it past
Oh.
Ego. The challenge means nothing to Rocket League. I thought Yolo was going to get bumped.
What
Nothing
just happened
happened. Yolo just
No
kept
effect,
driving.
bud.
Zero effect on Yolo whatsoever. Ego was the one that stopped, and he's the one that did the bumping. Yolo opens up a 2-goal lead.
Dominus hitbox hacks, I guess.
If he's going
And
to
we
do
have
the
another kick-off.
shit talk while mid-aerial. Is that a thing from Yolo? I'd love to see that, quite honestly. That's what we're all about here over at Full Tilt.
Absolutely. Mid-air disrespect and kick-off goals. Love to see
Ego
it.
Mania, yeah, well that's the thing, isn't it? Dominance from Yolo Brothers. But we get a seriously good kickoff come out of Ego Mania to get him back into the game. Kickoff from Yolo there, but he's left the play. Ego, that's a really heavy touch from Ego. He's going to have to do some work to clear this. Does well. Saves plenty of boost as well. Gets into a really good position. Gets a nice, kind bounce. Looking for the bump. Gets it. Goal. Beautiful
it.
from Ego.
Textbook, some might say, on the air dribble bump.
A little bit of a sarcastic what a play coming out from Yolo Brothers. I'll tell you what, I like it. That's got my name all over it. That junk move. Yolo Brothers
Absolute junk.
fails again from the play. Ego Mania shoots it on target. There's a couple of times now Yolo has gone for the mid boost after losing the kickoff possession. Here comes Yolo. Once again, he's going for the reset off the ceiling. He gets it just. He's got the musty available. Fakes it. Ego Mania, sorry, doesn't commit. Still has another touch in him off the back wall here. Doesn't get the best clear. Yolo Brother doesn't get the best touch either. Ego back for boost. Yolo back for boost. Insta challenge again from Ego Mania. Can he get around? It's going to be a tight angle by the time he gets to the ball. He gets around it. Yolo Brothers does well. Swats it out wide. Another chance here
What?
for Ego.
Oh
Yolo
my god,
Brothers
what another
is just hanging on for dear life on the goal line is Yolo Brothers. Looking for the insta challenge himself, gets it, but it's a poor recovery. He really wanted that mid boost to make this play work. He would have been able to get a bump or possibly follow up with the first time shot. Ego Mania that takes the ball. Another shadow defense play required from Yolo. Ends up going for the boost and getting around, looking for the bump again. He got him again.
Oh my god.
Ego Mania has done it twice in a row. He's turned to cheese to get the goals done. He's got the kickoff goal and two air dribble bumps on Yolo. As the tilt intensifies surely from the blue side of the field.
The air dribble bumps. Jesus. Definitely knows how to execute them, though. That's 2 from 2. So there you go.
Seeing Yolo dive in now. It's a tactic that we saw Ego apply heavily in game number 1. It's good to see Yolo changing up his play style as well. It's good to have a few different tricks in the bag. Keep your opponent guessing. He's in a really awkward position now. Ego's first touch was pretty heavy though. Allowed Yolo the opportunity to make a reasonably easy challenge. And that could just be a goal. It is. Yolo's turned away. He knows it. He's got the best line of sight out of anybody. Shoots and turns and scores
Just
his
looking for the
fourth.
bump. Gets the overcommit. Unfortunate play there for Ego. Great throw for Yolo.
Oh, he's
the
missed
miss.
out. Oh no. That's going to be a goal to Yolo. I don't know what to say. That's a really unfortunate play from Ego Mania.
Just panic and Anakin, mate. Just jumps up and gets the miss.
It was his goal to miss, wasn't it? At the end of the day, it was going to be a goal one way or the other. He either scores it or he turns it over and gives it away to Yolo, which is exactly what happened. Yolo Brothers looking good late in game number 3 now. Huge turnaround. Game number 1, like we mentioned, he's going to need a second one off the back wall here, or Ego Mania will get the ball. It's a heavy touch though. Ego Mania relinquishes possession again. He's going to need to score. He's get a kickoff goal and 2 edge bumps to his name. What's he got for us here? Goes for the flick, but misses out. He's looking for the bump now. He should have got it. Did get a little bit of nibble on Yolo Brothers, but Yolo Brothers stand strong.
Oh, that's...
That's going to be another goal.
Looks like a similar scoreline to the first game, but just the other way around.
It is. It's a bit of a revenge goal, that as well. It would feel good for Yolo Brothers to see Ego Mania disappear from the field after the 3 ways that he's scored so far in this match. A 3-goal advantage to Yolo Brothers is going to be hard to overcome here for Ego Mania.
A demo attempt for Yolo, just full send.
Got the boost advantage, though. He took the mid. That's a
Oh my.
huge flick from Egomania. He's going to have to go. He needs to score. He's hit it straight to YOLO. And that'll be game number 3 in favor of YOLO. Can't see Ego scoring 3 goals now. And it's a really impressive performance to date from YOLO Brothers. Egomania certainly not out of the contest. Plenty of
By any
time
means.
left in this
One
series.
more for the road.
And if we see
No.
the same Ego that we saw in game number 1, back in game number 4, we'll give YOLO Brothers plenty to think about. Is the Cryptic a big YOLO Brothers fan? Yes, sir. How are you this fine evening, Zacryptic? It's good to see you.
Welcome, welcome.
He's beginning to believe.
Quite the spicy turnaround we got ourselves here, mate. I dare say.
Yes, I am very intrigued to see what we get from Ego here. It's been such an even contest. The scorelines haven't really reflected that, except for game number 2, where it was obviously the overtime goal for YOLO separating the 2 players. But I feel if that had gone in favour of Ego, this would have been a completely different series. Could
Absolutely.
be
Having
a telling point of the series.
big time. Having YOLO on being on game point for the rest of the competition would have been something. But he's got the mech. Doesn't get the flip reset.
Yeah, really good setup. Ego doesn't decide to go up the back wall. He uses plenty of boost going for that. Are you in call with him there as a Cryptic, or what? You're telling him to change his playstyle? Is he just chilling in call? I certainly wouldn't be doing that if I was on this stage.
Absolutely
suits
not.
YOLO.
Oh, great pick.
Whoever recovers first to win win the race to this ball and score if he can. YOLO, well done by Ego, gets back. Feel the first goal here is super important. Obviously, one's going to be a really high-scoring game mode, but it's going to be big for either player to get their name on the board first. Here, Ego's got no boost. He's in a really good position if he had any. Has one pad to work with here. YOLO full. Ego goes for it regardless. Shoots, scores. He's got it, Ego. He did well. It was all or nothing with 0 boost there, Nobbo.
Like he just sort of fakes the challenge and just doesn't go for it, and then lures him in, and just finishes. Just has enough boost for that even. Great play there by Ego though. To start himself off with 1 goal lead here. 1 minute in almost.
So he's going back to the OG playstyle. Have you turned the regular chats back on, Nobbo, or are you not seeing any of these? I'm not too sure. You had them off earlier in the day. While we struggle. YOLO brother sends that high. Oh, what a terrible bounce for YOLO as well. And Ego makes him pay for the poor bounce that was. Ego with a chance to double his advantage here. YOLO in a really bad position. Oh my
Huge.
goodness me, he sent that packing and it's gone out off the crossbar. Disappointing
Flick
result
to
from that. Was a Dominus flick coming out of the Octane there for Ego. YOLO Brothers gets a good half flip challenge on the ball there. Sends it wide. Egomania still following this one up. Pushing straight through the line of YOLO Brothers. Will collect his boost. YOLO Brothers is a little bit saved up, left in the tank. Plenty for Ego, obviously. Good early challenge over the top of YOLO. Should be a goal if he can cut. He can't. He misses out on the touch. It's just been those little 1%ers from Ego that have been missing since game number 1. He started this series so much cleaner than what we've seen from him in the last couple of games. Shattered Nightbot. That's fair. Ego with a soft touch out wide to himself. YOLO Brothers is right there for the challenge though. Does well. As Ego gets back into position, both players just sort of strafing around each other. YOLO with Ego with another big flick. YOLO has to tip it across off the crossbar. I think it might have been high again. Not sure how he's doing it, Ego. He's sending these flicks high almost every single time. Looking for a bump on YOLO. Can't get it. Still needs one. If he's going to effect a save here, YOLO gets around it and scores. He needed some body work, didn't he, Nobu? He couldn't find it.
He needed a pad, he needed body work, he needed anything, but he got nothing. And YOLO picked up the mid boost and then just finished her off. Ego couldn't get back in time. And we are all even at half time.
We are. It is exactly halftime. It's a 1-all game at halftime in a ones match. This is an interesting scoreline, Nobbo. YOLO Brothers. That's a really dangerous challenge. Ego should score here. Really? Oh, goodness me!
Ooh,
He
yes.
made the ball work
Yes, he
for it.
does.
Yeah, I'm not sure what result Ego was really hoping for there. I think he was sort of hoping Ego drove under the ball, which he was never going to do. Ended up giving the ball straight to him.
The YOLO Brothers just sort of giving him the goal there, but it doesn't matter because he just got a kick-off goal. YOLO
YOLO. It's just what he was after there. Ego needs this game. He really needs this game, obviously, to get himself back into the contest and send us to game number 5. YOLO Brothers is having none of it. He's playing such good Rocket League at the moment. Ego will go for that far corner. A demo is coming in. Do they take each other out? No!
God.
Somehow, Ego didn't get a demo on YOLO. YOLO stands strong. Ego will need a challenge. Does well. Should tail back for the corner boost and the ball. YOLO will go for the mid, and Ego will have the ball momentarily. There's a softer flick. All kept out from YOLO. That's gone wide, I think, from Ego. Could have possibly gone the bump route there. Misses out. YOLO Brothers on the ball. Go into shadowing position. He's given the ball away to Ego, though. It's a good shot, though, but it's well kept out by Ego. Wasn't? How are you, mate?
Welcome.
Welcome to the stream. Big chance. Ego scores.
Huge flick.
Really dangerous fake challenge there from YOLO. He was way too close to the goal for that, wasn't he? Ego had so many options available.
Yeah, the fake challenge was the wrong choice there. He just, that was an all or nothing challenge opportunity. But unfortunately, for YOLO, Ego, oh, what a touch. Oh yeah, all even again.
Yeah, every time Ego manages to break away here, pick off dominance from YOLO the last couple of games.
Which has got to be tilting. I know I can't stand that stuff. You play a great game and then you just get kick-offed on over and over again.
Even as a neutral, it's hard to see, isn't it? We want to see
Oh,
the most even contest we can between the players. That's a great challenge from YOLO Brothers. He's taken a page out of the Egomania textbook there. He's challenged early, showing no respect, as Lamene says, to his opponent.
absolute disrespect. The insta-challenge.
Must be reading the
Sometimes
Twitch
it
chat.
just works.
There's another kickoff win for YOLO when it's gone flying out off the sidewall. Ego with a chance, takes to the air. What's he got for us? Is the edge will bump out again? It is. He's gone high as YOLO and managed to keep it out. Does well. That's not the best first touch though. He's given Ego a chance to get back to this. I thought the early shot would have been ideal there from YOLO. 1 minute remaining. Novo YOLO with the advantage. Those kickoffs just too strong from YOLO at this point, aren't they? He's scored a couple of goals that way, and there's been a low scoring encounter, so it's made a huge difference. Looks to cut. YOLO's gone for mid. Big chance for Ego here. Good challenge. Well-timed challenge there from YOLO Brothers. Ego again. You see YOLO Brothers going for the corner boost, and it cuts off his angle to make a decent challenge there. This time, Ego makes him pay. Drives under the ball there. Great catch. Great first touch from Ego. Turns, shoots, scores, and we're all even. And can he survive? Nobbo, this kickoff. He hasn't been able to do it all game. It's YOLO Brothers
And he
again.
doesn't do it again. He doesn't do it.
He needs to demo him. He
the
gets
demo.
him.
Beautiful stuff. Love to see it.
He's setting
He
up
does
the
not
hook
want
shot
to lose
here.
this game.
Bang! Top corner!
Bang.
Egomania!
Absolutely slots it. Threads the needle here with 20 seconds left.
Absolutely clutch. It's been so tight every single time he claws his way back. It's been YOLO Brothers on the kickoff. It was YOLO Brothers again off the kickoff. Egomania went all in on the demo. Got him. And returns
one for
fire
YOLO.
immediately. Another kickoff. Yeah, what happened to YOLO there on the play? We didn't see it on the director cam. Not sure where Ego is on this play. He's diving in. He does well. YOLO Brothers may or may not get one more chance to get back into this contest. Ego shoots, scores, and settles
And we are
game number
going.
4.
We are going to game 5.
What a contest, Nobbo. What a contest.
It looked like YOLO Brothers had this game all the way through, but Ego was having none of it.
Tell you what.
1 second in a dream.
That must be the 3rd or 4th kickoff goal just this game that we have seen from YOLO Brothers. Still a second
Whatever
left.
he's doing.
One more kickoff. Did we fly the flag a little bit early, Nobbo? Let's see. Oh, it's getting
No.
grounded. There's actually only a fraction of a
Fraction
second left looking at that. As it is Egomania that takes game number 4 and will send us through to game number 5. If you were a betting man, Nobbo, where
Which
would
I
your
am.
money be? Oh, let's go.
My betting money is on YOLO. Just because everyone bet on Ego. And that's too good of an opportunity to pass up.
That's very fair. That's very fair. Anyone on chat anyone in chat got a different opinion to that? We see YOLO is the one that is delaying the ready up here, catching his breath. It's been quite an invigorating series, Double. I've really enjoyed it from the neutral perspective. It has been some
Absolutely.
series. The players readying up. Aussie Blue has his money on YOLO Brothers. Nobbo has his money on YOLO Brothers. Vorzen has his money on YOLO Brothers. I'm going
We
Ego.
see the upset.
Ego will take it.
my man.
He sends it wide. He's got the kickoff. If he can mitigate the kickoffs from YOLO Brothers, he's all over this contest. Flip reset available. Good shot. YOLO Brothers up to the challenge, though. Sends it wide. Ego's going to take the boost. He's been eliminated. He's been eliminated. He telegraphed his movements from a mile away. YOLO Brothers received the facts and delivered the news. You're out of here, buddy. And YOLO has scored first.
Absolutely textbook there by YOLO. Cannot fault mate. Ego here though, he's come out and absolutely, for someone we haven't seen play before, played an absolute great series so far. Can he go the distance?
It's a little
What do you
bit
think,
of a
mate?
nibble on the backside there from YOLO. He has been outstanding. He really came out of the blocks flying, didn't he? Like we talked about earlier, I was really worried for YOLO. It was a playstyle that he really had no answers for. And there's the edgeable bump.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The third one coming out of here.
Yeah, well, he
Works perfectly.
went back in game number 3. He landed 2 of those in a row. It made a big difference to the contest, but YOLO ended up pulling away. We've seen it back. He's got it back in the magazine, ready to fire. Scores his first goal in that fashion. Doesn't go for the insta-challenge this time. YOLO Brothers with a really dangerous catch. How did he get a touch on that?
That was a pixel save.
We need to get an official ruling on the hitbox size of Ego's car here. I'm not sure he actually got a touch on that.
Touch that.
Regardless,
Not even a bumper.
it's kept him alive here. He's managed to make the save as a result. YOLO's on the ceiling. The ball has come yeeting off.
Ooh.
Has the available. Ego in the way. Ego takes it out wide. He's going to go for some mech of his own as he doesn't look confident with it. Looking to bring this down. YOLO with an early fake challenge there. He turned away before Ego had even moved. Ball high. Who's up first? It's Ego. Shoots it on target. YOLO waits down. It's exactly what he was after. Boost race is on. Ego looking for the demo. YOLO ends up getting the boost. Ego in a really awful position here. Ego, all the options available. Gets the corner boost. Looking to delay the shot. Ego Mania. What's he got? Oh, good touch from YOLO, but it sets up Ego. Both players faking, doing figure eights around each other. And Ego Mania manages to survive. He takes the boost. He's got the ball on what was a very strange passage of play. And he's missed off the crossbar. I thought it was in. YOLO Brothers pushes through him. I think that's going to go long. YOLO Brothers will have to get a dish to get this in. He gets it in off the bar. No, it's out. YOLO Brothers going for boost. No, Ego goes for boost. YOLO turns. YOLO scores. The play's over. Goodness me.
What a passage of play. Look at that jamming between the post, the crossbar there. Jesus.
Both
Oh
both
my
players
God.
just firing shots on net. Nobody able to find the opening. It's finally YOLO Brothers that splits the players. He holds a 1-goal lead. Who's going to be first in the mid boost? That's going to make a huge difference. YOLO Brothers is going to get it. He's going to get the ball. Sends it wide. Very hard touch from YOLO. I'm not sure that was necessary. Either way, he's floated up with another ball wide. Ego in an awful position here. Swats this away. Gets the half flip shot out, but it's not going to make the distance. Decides not to challenge. YOLO is hitting the ball hard at the moment. No, not sure what that's all about. No controlling touches from YOLO. Just looking for pure power. And Ego should score this. It should be his second, the equaliser.
For a man in the final game, absolutely, YOLO's playing very confident, going for all the big moves. While looks like Evo's actually coming down with a bit more reserved play style here.
Yeah,
Just
a lot
scoring off
different.
mistakes and...
Oh no!
Ooh.
You mentioned mistakes, and there's the second whiff, just pure whiff we've seen out of Ego in this game. He's laughing, but he's surely crying in some way as well. As that's his second whiff of the series.
Taking a big note out of my playbook, which is not how you win games. Going for the big whiffs.
Both players hanging
Just
around.
shoots
Ego.
on
That's a good
target.
shot. That's a great shot from YOLO. Oh,
What
what
a
a save! How has he kept it out?
His hitbox is broken.
It's not regulation
Oh.
size, Nobbo. Can't be.
Oh, can't get around it.
Oh, as
Huge
again.
save.
How much boost YOLO's got in the tank. That's a really awful bounce for Ego. Gets over it though. 1 minute 49 remaining. There's still plenty of time. It's been a really low scoring encounter in the last couple of games, considering flick available. Doesn't get onto it here, Ego. We've found that to be the case, haven't we? His flicks either fall short or they go way high. Can't seem to get it right. Yolo should cut this and score. He does. He's got his fourth. He opens up a 2-goal lead.
Just the instant challenge again on instinct. There by Evo. Not doing him justice.
I just
Looks like-
can't see how Ego's going to score enough goals. I know that he won the last game, but he's relying heavily on the edgeable bumps. Yolo seems to have so many more weapons in the arsenal to get the job done here. That's another goal for Yolo. He's found a 3-goal advantage. Teams?
is
These
just
aren't
running
teams, Forzen. This is a 1v1 tournament. I'll bring the bracket up right after this match is finished. If you haven't seen it, it's full tilt. This is True Battles.
Full tilt, baby.
Ego with a
Not the
chance.
best touch there.
Pro should have scored that, Ego. In fairness, Yolo popped it up for him. It was all out at sea. 3 goals, the difference between the players as we enter the final minute. Ego's going to be the first one here. He stuffed it up. No, he hasn't. He's faked him. And should score it. No, he doesn't. What's he
Hang on.
doing? He's got a
Hang
top
on.
corner.
Oh
He's
my
made it
goodness.
hard. Oh my god. He tries to fit the triangle hole into the square one. He finally makes it work. Gets it into the top corner. Goodness me, he
a
made hard
weapon.
work of it.
Just what he needed though. Cannot deny it. Gives us a 2-goal deficit with
Gets to the mid
45 seconds.
Gets the mid
On
boost
the
as well.
clock.
Yolo Brothers in a really dangerous position here. That's going to be another goal. He's going to bring it back, surely. Yolo there.
Oh.
Surely, Ego, one more shot. He's got no boost left. Yolo survived. The demo comes in, but he's got the ball back towards his own net. Yolo has respawned. He's got pads and spawn boost to deal with. Ego shoots. Bang. Goal.
Oh my lord.
He's climbing back into contention. He was a long way behind only a moment ago. He scored the last couple, and suddenly it's YOLO Brothers that will need to find an answer for what Egomania has to offer. 1 goal, the difference. Egomania finally wins the kickoff, and what a time to win it. Has the boost, has the ball. YOLO, insta-challenge, 19 seconds remaining. It's going to be YOLO's ball. He's got 23 boost, and if he commits, he will need to score, because Ego will respond.
My lord.
Ego will score, and Ego will equalize with 7 seconds remaining. YOLO went the all-in play with 20 boost in the tank and a 1-goal lead. Egomania strikes. Huge kickoff. It goes in favor of Ego.
Huge
Ego, one
kickoff.
shot, shoots, scores!
My lord. What a turnaround. What a turnaround. One goal
Flawless
lead.
from Ego. He's been outstanding in the final minute of this contest. Game number 5 specialist. He wins
That
kickoffs
is it.
only when they matter the most. He has taken down YOLO Brothers. What a contest between the two players. Egomania, outstanding first on-stream performance. Huge effort
Beautiful.
from
Massive
YOLO
effort.
as well. Let me just...
Well played to both.
Ego, thanks for the
What a
follow.
series.
Outstanding performance. What a series. What a finish. What a turnaround. What a final minute from Egomania. Yeah, to make it interesting. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. You had to pretend for the first 5 games that you couldn't make a kickoff and then win every single one for the final minute of game number 5. To take it away from YOLO. That was a very, very entertaining series. Thank you very much to both of the players. What do you reckon, Nobbo? That was, that was
What
something.
a turner. My lord.